Friday, October, oh my gosh, the 24th of 2025. I have approximately 10 minutes just to run through a quick little tidbit about what Lashas Take, Mickey Moon, and Trevor's Infinite Horizons will be talking about tonight. The last few days have been very, very stressful. But, anyways, welcome to Lashas Take. If you're interested in behavioral analysis, body language analysis, certain opinions, because we all have them, reaction videos, a little bit of fun, um, this might be the channel for you. And if you are interested, I always say, John Lennon always said, give peace a chance. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. um, I did start this channel. I had an idea of a non donation charity, which there's lots of footage as to why that is. And you can always start on change.org to find out that information. So this is a not for profit. My next raffle is on November the 2nd, this of 2025. So November the 2nd coming up. Over the last 6 months since March the 13th, it's been difficult to keep a schedule. I just wanted all of you to know that I am working full-time hours now, and I'm ecstatic about it. And therefore, when you have structure in your life, it can also help you structure other pieces of your life. So I just wanted to share that. So the reason that I have Netflix here is the first thing I wanted to talk about was documentaries. I'm going to talk about the monarchy, but I just want to talk about documentaries. And so Netflix gave these two jokers, where are they? Oh no, sorry. Sorry, William. Sorry, Kate. Sorry, Virginia. I'm looking for the other two. Oh, where are those funny little um I created these little, oh, here, these two jokers, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Hello, hello, Mr. McCheese. So my whole question is, I created these images of a king sitting in a lie detector chair and a blonde woman asking questions. My question is, when they're, just a minute, I need to clear my throat. Sorry, my mouth is very dry. Um, my question is this. When there are documentaries and millions of dollars at stake, why doesn't Netflix hire Dr. Phil's lie detector guy? Apparently he's the best in the business. And why is it that lie detector tests are not admissible in court, but I don't understand that. A police officer does a lie detector test on Chris Watts and he fails, but they can't use that in court to put him in jail to save all of us the trouble of the trial and the pain of the family. Just put the guy in jail. He's not worth our attention. And then people make millions talking about this, which is fine because I think people get interested in nefarious and diabolical situations because if you're just an average person like myself, um, it's beyond our realm of thinking in the way in which these people live their lives, manipulate with the press. Instead of the royals cutting each other's heads off now, they brutalize each other with reputation, press, leakage. You know, the honest to goodness, the most articulate place you can watch royal footage is the Royal Grift, TNT UK, Brittany from the Royal News Network, and Maureen Callahan and Pierce Morgan. But all I'm saying is, why in God's name doesn't Netflix involve lie detector tests? We all had to go through the agony of watching Staircase in reference to Scott Peterson, right? One, did he do it? Didn't he do it? Was it the owl? Why didn't his wife, Kathleen, have skull fractures if she was beaten to death? I mean, that is weird. Um, but then, 20 years prior, he adopted two girls because the father passed away and the woman fell down the steps. I don't know. And these poor kids had to go through all of this trauma when it could have been solved with the lie detector test. I mean, lawyers must make their clients go through a lie detector test. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And especially when you write a book, if people want to stop talking about fake news and what the truth is, why doesn't Kash Patel, like in the Donald Trump situation with his assassin, Thomas Cook, who we never hear of, which I find suspicious, and then the death of Charlie Kirk, like Candace Owens has been off for 2 weeks now. And I love Coach Colin. He's great. Coach Colin is the best. He wears a yellow hat and he does the most articulate, intellectual um, breakdowns. And I've always thought this about Candace Owens. I'm getting off track, but I'm a YouTube junkie, so whatever comes to mind, I'll say. Um, I always thought that Candace Owens spoke between the lines. Like, for instance, with the Charlie Kirk situation, she showed the clip of Eric Kirk 2 days, 48 hours, almost to the minute after her husband's global, in real time, you know, and she was on Turning Point USA's platform where her former husband used to speak, and she talked about the battle cries of this wife and this widow. And that was, to me, moving. I bought it when Candace showed that clip. Now, without her saying anything, Candace Owens did not say anything negative about Erica Kirk. In fact, she said something along the lines, and I'm just paraphrasing, I don't have the quote in front of me, but it was something along the lines of Erica Kirk, the strength that would have taken to talk about her cries. It was very powerful. And I think it's going to be, as time goes on, one of the most historic speeches and important speeches of our generation. And I thought, what is she really saying? So then I went and I watched. Hey there. How are you? So then I went and I just watched this the whole clip of Erica Kirk, and she starts off and she's standing there. It's not funny, but I'm watching Candace Owens and I'm thinking, oh, Charlie and her were close and Erica and her must be close. And oh, the reason I didn't do exercises, y'all, is because yesterday or the day before when I did them, I was doing calf exercises and my calves are so sore today. And I have to get ready because there's a nail in my scooter, so I have to get the tire fixed. And I have to go to an appointment because I start my new job on Monday. And there's another job that I'm really looking forward to, and I need to take my resume there. So before I get ready to do all of that, I went to watch Erica Kirk, the whole clip, and I laughed because what Candace Owens, in my opinion, was saying was she has something to do with it, or she doesn't trust her, or something. In my opinion, I'm not saying anything. I don't know anything. I'm just going by quote unquote influencers that I trust. But it's very hard to sift through the garbage. That's why doesn't everybody just take a lie detector test? It just makes things so much easier. And I really wish that I could find. Oh, and you know what I was going to say? Um, Harry, okay, I remember when that came out, this Netflix series. I was going to say the falling of the monarchy, it started with Oprah, but I really think William and Kate, for example, are very, very the a couple of years ago I was reading tarot cards and I said into the camera, and it's really old footage from like 2 years ago, and that was when rumors were swirling that Kate Middleton felt betrayed and King Will or Prince William was uh, having an affair. And I remember saying specifically, it's not in William nor Kate's DNA. And I remember saying the words, they would never acquaint themselves with adultery because you can tell the fundamental glue that holds William and Kate together is respect, because respect builds trust, trust builds closeness, and that leads to more intimate, and then that leads to a surrendering of oneself to another person where you truly become one. And they're so quiet about their quote unquote love story and so on. But what I was going to say was, I said before Kate got cancer, before Princess Catherine was unfortunately and diabolically diagnosed with cancer, I said something is going to happen really soon and it's bad. And then about 3 weeks later, we found out that she had cancer and she's free of it now. I think, in my opinion, it changed her. I think the difference between William and Harry, I think they're so much alike and they were so close. You can only despise somebody as much as William has cut his brother out of his life. William must have been in such pain, but he would never show that because he's introverted. He always was. And I think he was a very sensitive little boy. I remember watching him grow up. I remember, I'm 54. My cousin is 2 years older than myself, and I remember watching Lady Di get married, and just all of these characters and their different behaviors. And I do want to say, there's a lot of fundamental differences that I have with Cheer Denise. A lot. However, she has read everything. She started her channel a little after I started mine. And I originally wanted to read books. And I tried, and it's very difficult. She is so talented and so wise. And she's read and kept to her word and is on time. And it's her name's Cheer Denise. And she's read Harry, then she read Revenge, then she read Traitor King about Edwina and Mountbatten, and then she read Lady Colin Campbell's version of Diana, and she had great reservations doing it, and they had a little row, and I don't know. I watched the video that I did about the row, and I don't know. I was very silly that night. I don't know what was wrong with me. But at any rate, I think I was ranting about my knee or something. And then she read another book about Diana, The Housekeeper. And then she read Britney Spears. She read um, the Trailer Park parody. Now she's reading Elite, that written by Andrew Lowney. She also read another book by Andrew Lowney. Oh gosh, what was it? Trader King, and then there was another one about Wallace Simpson. Oh, that was a Trader King. Oh, and then she read the Mountbattens, yes. And they were thick, complicated books. And she has a way of telling a story that's just so interesting. And she's really, really witty. So I would absolutely recommend. And she probably knows more about the history of royals than any royal commentator, except Brittany from the Royal News Network. That woman, I remember commenting when she was in her mind, it was so small. She had 10,000 participants, which meant there's probably, you know, um, 40,000 other people watching, or 20,000 people watching but not subscribing. So I wrote her a little comment and I said, "You're going to be on Dan Wooden one day." And she was. And I wrote her a comment and I said, "I don't know if you remember me, but," and she did. And she sent me back a really nice message. And I thought that was sweet. I knew she was just going to explode. I knew Cheer Denise was going to explode. Um, I didn't know that YouTube channels like the Duchess of Narcissus, the Royal Grift, TNT UK, Paula M. Oh, but that woman still does owe me money. She really does. Paula M. Oh, you do, you do, you do, you do, you do, you do. Well, I have to get ready and I will finish off my live tonight in reference to more about the psychology of William and Harry and the characters, what I believe their history is going to be, and what I think is going to happen to Meghan Markle. And I believe the children were being used, and I believe the monarchy knew. And that's why I always say they're lying to us. But you know what? I'm going to put up a short right now, really quick, of these AI images that I created with very precise detail about. And Virginia Giuffre, you know why her memory is fuzzy? Because she was on a lot of drugs. And I think these men had her killed, unalived. She was killed in the press, not literally, metaphorically. People are trying to ruin her reputation now. None of the men are held accountable. Everybody's on to Prince Andrew. What about the other ones like Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and Woody Allen? And why was Katie Couric? Isn't she a Democrat? I'm really starting to wonder. At any rate, I will be back. And why was Gavin Newsom letting Meghan and Harry into the fires? Like they've done so many nefarious things. And that baby mama clip, she was laughing at the royal family, going, ha ha, we know the truth. And when you look at the hair of Archie, it's changed. I really believe that Archie is Harry's son. I believe Lilibet was an adoption. I don't know. I don't know. But at any rate, those poor kids one day are going to look and they'll know it was them in the footage. So let's all be mindful when we talk about these children, because I think it's terrible that William and Kate didn't step in and get these kids taken away from Meghan. I can't believe nobody's done a wellness check. That woman is mentally ill, and so is Harry. And we all know about Meghan playing on his fears and da 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 da. But what are the next steps, and what gives me the conclusion I'm going to share with you tonight? I wish you all a great day. I will see you tonight. And thank you for joining in and watching. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe. You just never know. You might like what's coming up. And if you liked any of this or found any of it interesting, or take a look at some of my shorts, and you know what? Takes Subscribing is good because you can turn off notifications, but it's it's not about missing future downloads. You just, when I find people that I like, I subscribe, and I always remember, and then I'll go back and find them. And then sometimes I get hooked on one channel for a really long time, and then it'll switch to a different one, because your tastes change and etc. etc. All right, I'll be back tonight. Okay, have a good one. Bye bye.